Professor Chadwick will give her closing statement.
Okay. And people are leaving. That's not a good sign. Okay. We have to make the choice to keep a child, not such a devastating one. And, with respect to Alan and his presentation, he didn't quite address the issue where we can come together on this, because I think that this is really important. They've been debating this issue for 2,500 years, and Suzanne had asked me, I don't know where she is, bring something new to the debate. And I thought, okay, well, I don't know what else I can say. But this issue is certainly still very alive and present in our imaginations. I really strongly believe that we need to work together to reduce the number of abortions, and I believe we can do this. And I believe that my ideas and the ideas that other pro-choicers have presented are viable options for reducing these numbers of abortions. The difficulty of debating this issue, and it is difficult, is how to defend the most private and personal decisions that a woman makes when she becomes pregnant, and how to also preserve life. I want to sometimes call myself a pro-choice, pro-lifer. I believe in life. I'm in support of life. I love life. I want to, I believe in being a good person and supporting living organisms and promoting this issue of life. But I also believe that we cannot ignore the life of the woman to be able to have authority to make those decisions on her own. It's interesting how much easier it is to argue that state interventionism is bad when it comes to business, that the business ought to be able to grow on its own. And I find it very interesting in sort of libertarian circles that that's a very solid argument, but then classic libertarians are also remain to be pro-life. So it's a difficult issue for sure. But I want to let you know that the state doesn't need to deliberate about this issue, because women deliberate about it every single day with very severe consequences. For this decision to have an abortion does not come lightly for many women, and the women that I know personally who've had abortions, they did not use it as a form of birth control, and they agonized over this decision. And to consider this issue is to really walk into a place that makes most people feel very uncomfortable, to deal with the realities of life, which are often very ugly and very messy. To honestly confront the issue of abortion requires deep consideration. To be pro-choice puts women in control of something that has been historically and politically out of their control, which is the right to control your body. Women dying from botched abortions or complications due to botched abortions is unacceptable. Women becoming pregnant because of lack of information or access or religious restrictions on contraception is unacceptable. Women becoming pregnant because of rape or incest or violence and forced to carry the baby to term only to give that baby up for adoption is unacceptable. To not have access to safe and legal abortions when a woman's health is in danger is loathsome. Regardless of whether or not abortion is legal, women will continue to seek them, as they always have and they always will. So again, the issue becomes, how can we reduce the number of unintended pregnancies? Giving women reproductive choice presents them with the option of selecting for themselves an unthinkable one. And this is a disclaimer and warning. Here's the radical feminist piece. It renders them in control of making a decision that could potentially destabilize the socially constructed aspects of femininity that suggest that women are naturally embodied, emotionally engaged, relational, and oriented towards values of care. By choosing to abort a fetus, a woman becomes more manly in a sense, more in control, more oriented towards values of domination. And this is unpalatable to most people. The abortion debate is much more closely tied to gendered expectations than one might imagine. This is one reason why this debate is so difficult to have. The pro-life movement is a religious movement, and the last thing that we need is a sort of a religious revival, especially when it comes to this issue. It is well documented that when women have more education, more opportunities, and better medical care, fertility rates go down. Abortion goes down. This is and should be uncontroversial. If you want children to be better cared for, women to be healthier, and abortions to go down, you can easily do it. If we continue to federally fund abstinence-only education and clinics that masquerade as abortion centers, that teach young girls that condoms are only effective 50% of the time, we are funding our way towards more abortions. We need more education and not less. We need to teach young women and girls about contraception and not deprive them of it, and then force them to carry an unwanted pregnancy to term. To protect women and girls' freedoms is not to teach them to be afraid of sex, it is to teach them to be prepared for it. To do otherwise would cause more abortions, not less.